Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Maple Forward, friends. Today on the podcast, we're talking about preparing your mindset as a first-time coffee business owner. Everything that I'm going to say today is relevant, well, most of it is relevant no matter what business you have. I would say that my experiences as a first-time business owner in coffee were not massively different than my first foray into a music business. But getting into a new industry is like resetting so much. And I want to talk today about the mindset of the whole thing, because I wish that that I had heard a lot of what I'm going to tell you today before I got started. I'm listening to a podcast at the moment, and I want to tell you the name. It's with Kevin Ross on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he just said something in it that really resonated with me, knowing that I was coming into doing this podcast today. And if you get a chance to listen to it, listen to it. It's episode number 1417, Kevin Ross, and I recommend it to everybody. He says in it, become the person that your younger self would have needed. And you might think, but shit, Lee, it's a coffee business. Like, why is that relevant? I got to tell you, the thing that I've learned about being in business, it's like everything that you'll do in your life, it's hard, really, really hard. I am yet to meet a single human who has gone into business and said it was easy. It's not that they didn't enjoy it, and it gives you many, many highs and it gives you many, many lows. But all of those things are difficult. And I guess I want to address the mindset behind, first of all, why you're doing this. And this week, this is episode 174. So episode 171, 172, 173, 174 today, and 175 are all about, they're a series about becoming a business owner in coffee. And today on mindset, I want you to think about why you want to do it. Because doing it for the love is the wrong reason to do any business. Doing it for the passion is the wrong reason to do any business. Doing it for money is the wrong reason to do any business. Not that all of those things aren't important, and they are. They really, truly are. You should be doing this for love. You should be doing it for passion. You should be doing it for the money. You should be doing it for all the other amazing things, building community and learning about finances and learning about stock control and cash flow management and accounting and being a part of your industry and all of that. And all of those things together are a great reason for doing business. And you need to have all of them, in my opinion, to get into business. But from a mindset perspective, as a human, I would love you to ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? And I would suggest that in preparing your mindset for what's coming, even if you have all of those other things locked and loaded as an understanding of why you want to go into business, I would invite you to go into business for one reason. Because regardless of if you want to get into business for this reason, this is what business is going to do to you. It's going to reveal everything you never wanted to know about yourself. And for that reason, whenever I'm coaching, it doesn't matter who I'm coaching and at what level or what sector of the industry they're in, I always help them manage their expectations of what the outcome of business is going to be by helping them get grounded in why they should be doing this. And if you're in this to make a ton of money, that's great. But if that's the focus you're in this journey is going to expose everything you never wanted to know about your relationship to money, which is always going to lead back into a relationship that you have with many other things in your life. This journey is going to teach you everything you never wanted to know about the way you feel about humans and the way that you feel about what you deserve and what you don't get. It's going to teach you about your empathy, whether you have too much empathy or not enough empathy. That was definitely one for me. I didn't understand how much empathy I had. Like, I thought I was empathetic, but I realized I have far too much empathy. And having far too much empathy led to me, funnily enough, like I didn't get the relationship that it had with the way I do business, but I would happily yeah, sure, take this. I was far too generous. And then I would complain that our profits weren't enough. Like, I've done the numbers. I've done a cost breakdown analysis. I understand we should be making this much money. And why aren't we? Well, because Lee has far too much empathy. Someone would have an opinion about something and I would be quick to, want to save them. Here, have some more elixir. And I know, I'm sure it must sound strange to anybody who hasn't had a conversation with me about this stuff. And you're thinking, sure, this is quite deep for just going into a coffee business. Well, I promise you, being in business is going to take you far deeper into your own thoughts than many of you will have anticipated. It is going to require you to challenge yourself in many ways. Now, if you can manage your mindset before you go into this, knowing that this journey is going to do that, it's going to reveal parts of me that I may not want to see, and it's going to force me into that. You can be better prepared. You can be better prepared for understanding what it feels like to, for example, go without and have to face what it feels like when you think you can't provide for your business. Now, if you're doing business right, you will come up against that challenge and use that challenge to figure out how you're going to solution challenges that show up. And then you'll learn some things about yourself as well. But if you don't take the opportunity to solution the situation and you get stuck in feeling like you're a failure, that can destroy you. I've seen it happen to many people where they just feel like, I'm a failure. I haven't been able to manage enough money to come into the business so that I can pay everything that I need to pay. Well, while you're wallowing and you're feeling like poor me and really tapping into the narcissist in you that is making this whole situation about you, all the other people around you who you have to fix this for so that you can pay their wages are going to walk away. And so managing your mindset, managing the expectation of what's coming, understanding that this is a journey that you are about to embark on as a person. As a person, you're about to embark on a journey that is about revealing you to you. If you can step into that, the things that you have to address are not going to be as debilitating as you may think that they would be had you not prepared yourself with this mindset. A coffee-specific example of this is when and I'm not sure that I've met anybody in coffee that doesn't do this, but there is no rule book like for lawyers that tells us how we should or how we have to conduct ourselves or what the rules are behind what we do. There's just opinions about how espresso should be extracted and how coffee should be roasted and what tastes good and what doesn't taste good, and should I be using naturals or shouldn't I be using naturals, and some person said this is relevant and another person said that's relevant. And then you as a business owner are required to curate what your version of all of that shit is. And not only do you need to figure out what you want that product that you want to sell is going to be, you've got to stand by it and have a reason for doing that. And I really mean this when I say it, every single person I've met in coffee can be shaken very quickly by an opinion of somebody else. And on one side, that's great, but on the other side, it's not so great, because it means that people aren't making decisions based on their own opinions. And being open to deciding what you want to experience. Let's use naturals for example. Let's say you have an opinion one way or the other. You know, you love naturals or you hate naturals. Okay. You're going to be challenged at some point by somebody having an opinion about whether that's stupid or not. And being hard and fast one way or the other, I don't think is healthy. But knowing how to have an open conversation with somebody about why you've decided this for yourself and still be able to hear what they've got to say is going to teach you loads about who you are as a business owner and the direction and trajectory that you can take your business philosophy, whether it be your buying philosophy or your selling philosophy. However, if you're not open to any of that and you don't want to hear what anybody's got to say, you can be buried under the pressure of people having opinions about what you're doing. And therefore, you won't have the courage to step into having an opinion or using your business to curate certain flavors and certain things. The coffee price crisis is another fantastic example of that, whereby I see people going on and on about, I'm going to pay all this money for coffee and I'm going to support the supply chain and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of the time they're not understanding what they're talking about. And then they go into business for themselves and they realize, shit, I actually can't pay $7 a pound green for coffee because I can't afford it. I started buying really expensive coffees and now no one will buy them and my business is going to be buried. Empowering yourself with some of the things we spoke about yesterday with regards to money, cost breakdown analysis, understanding how to read profit and loss statements, etc., etc. All of these things will help you on your journey through business. Your absolute biggest ally in this is going to be to have your mind right. Having your mind be in a healthy state is going to be the best asset and ally that you have when shit gets hard, and I promise you it will. No matter how prepared you are, my version of hard is different to your version of hard, and your version of hard is different to another person's version of hard. Based on all of our differing levels of emotional intelligence and intellectual intelligence and industry understanding and all of that. Some people are going to find finance management hard. Other people are going to find communication skills hard. Whatever your version of hard is, it's going to happen. And being afraid of having that exposed is perhaps going to make it harder. I hope this has been something that gave you some things to think about that are helpful in preparing you for starting a business. I think that it's one of the hardest things that people can do. I have an extraordinary amount of respect for anybody that chooses to do it. And as I said yesterday, we don't need more businesses opening. We do need more successful businesses in the coffee industry. And I'm hoping that we can start getting more successful business owners of the future geared up and ready to go. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.